Hi folks, welcome to CNB. We're coming to you this week from Japan. In fact, we're at the Honda R&D Center, the Twin Ring Motegi test track, to bring you our first impressions on the Amaze. Now, the Amaze is the all-new sedan that's coming from Honda into our market. It's based on the Brio. You know all of this. The whole idea is to figure out two things. One, how successful has Honda been with its brand new diesel engine? So the 1.5 diesel is something that we will test. The other thing is just the way the car looks, the overall shape, the kind of space it offers in its cabin, and of course the all-important little boot. All of it managing to fit into a space that's under 4 meters in length. So our first impressions on this little car from Honda coming up on the show today. It's been a long time coming. Honda made us wait to finally start making compact cars in India and gave us the Brio last year. But now we also get Honda's entry to the diesel space in India. The company has long had diesel models on sale in Europe, but the 2.2-litre engine wasn't fit for use in India due to fuel quality concerns. Hence, no diesel CR-V or Accord. The new car, Amaze, sports Honda's all-new iD-Tech engine that is part of its all-new diesel engine family that began development about 5 years ago. And even though Europe got the 1.6-litre diesel first, it was originally developed as the 1.5-litre that we are getting. However, Europe got the same engine with twin-turbo etc. added to it, while ours is the no-frills version. It is an all-aluminium diesel engine, making it the lightest in its class. And yet, the higher displacement promises more power. Honda isn't sharing the figures just yet. The Amaze is a very compact car at first glance, no doubt. But it is also very stylish and attractive right away. The side profile is a bit short, but it doesn't look odd or disproportionate like the Swift Dzire. The last time I came here to the Twin Ring Motegi, it rained. It's raining again, so let me quickly run you through some of the styling elements. Now, we've all been talking about how this is the Brio sedan, and so of course in the face you get to see the Brio. There are a few little elements here in the bumper, couple of elements inside the headlamp cluster, and of course the front grille, which have been modified to a certain extent to give it somewhat of a different character. But one look at it and you do know that it is the same family sedan. However, it's at the side where things start to change just a little bit, because as you come to the side, you start to see the familiar line that rises all the way up. That's pretty similar to the hatch, but it's in the rear door where there is a slight difference, because you have got this other line which rises into the boot. And so that's the part of the story which I think is again a little bit different. So you don't have a common rear door, if you want to call it that. And in the rear is where you start to see hints of some of its siblings. The rear tail light treatment is a little bit like the City's and implies a little bit of width at the back too. In fact, the use of the chrome garnish again gives you the impression of width, which holds it in good stead, because after all, this car does tend to look a little stubby from the sides, and why not? It is under 4 meters in length. It is, after all, a hatch with a boot at the end. However, the design does look a lot more congruous. It looks like it was planned as a sedan, unlike some of the others, where the boot literally has been slapped onto the back. And so this rear 3/4 of the car, especially the way the tail light juts out, pretty attractive, pretty stylish as well, and quite a little cool when it comes to the styling department. So the looks are pretty impressive, or shall we say, amazing. But what about the interiors? The Amaze is 5 millimeters shorter than the Dzire at 3,990 millimeters, and its wheelbase of 2,405 millimeters, while shorter than the Swift Dzires, is 60 millimeters longer than the Brios. Other proportions work overall, but on pure numbers you may think that the cabin will be cramped. The car has impressive boot space, but again, we don't have any volume figures just yet. It is certainly going to swallow way more luggage than the Swift Dzire though. Now this is the part of the story that you all want to know about. What's the space in the back like? You know, I have a feeling Honda took its engineers or its styling department to Hogwarts and got themselves a little bit of a magic spell, because when you look at the car from the outside and when you have expectations similar to the Brio hatch, you'd think, okay, the back's not going to be so spectacular. The seat's pushed all the way back and I still have knee room. I have pretty good headroom, and the overall comfort levels on the seat also pretty good. So the point I'm trying to make, great leg room, great knee room, pretty good headroom as well. It's almost miraculous how they've been able to carve out so much space in the back. That is going to be a huge USP, because a lot of consumers are going to say, hang on a second, this is a lot more comfortable than the cars it wants to rival. Now, we haven't been allowed to take detailed shots of the insides as the car isn't production spec, and so some of the trim may change. But for the most part, the cabin reminds of the Brio in terms of colors and layout. There are steering mounted controls and a similar music system too. Expect similar variant offerings as the Brio, though the Amaze will sport diesel and also petrol variants using the same 1.2-litre iVTEC as the Brio and Jazz. The diesel Amaze, though, will no doubt be Honda's ticket to the big time. The car feels agile, and that's despite the overall light weight. The steering is also light, but it's precise. The car has good balance with correct weight distribution. Power delivery is smooth, though not electric. Gear changes are smooth, with the 5-speed gearbox seemingly adequate for this motor. The engine has low friction levels like in petrol engines, which helps deliver more efficient running. The engine also has a flat torque curve, which starts delivering at about 1200 RPM or so, and then picks up pretty well. Frequent gear changes aren't necessary, which bodes well for city traffic conditions. The engine is pretty responsive. That's the first impression you get from it. It's a revvy little motor, and low-end torque seems pretty sorted out. And I'm glad that there isn't any evident lag. The downside, it's a little noisy. It sounds a little bit unrefined as a result. But first impressions, so still got to figure out how it behaves on longer drives. Stability at higher speeds is pretty good, though the car may not be a firecracker on the highway. That is something we have to test in the future, though. The car's overall performance may not rival the Swift hatch in terms of sportiness or the fun quotient, but will certainly feel a bit more agile than the Dzires. The engine's lightweight gives the car a feel like a petrol, and I believe a lot of Indian drivers will appreciate and welcome this aspect. The Amaze arrives in India at the start of the new fiscal year, with prices expected to stay about 20 to 30,000 rupees or perhaps even 50,000 rupees higher than the Swift Dzires, variant for variant. What we are showing you here are only the prices for the Maruti Suzuki Swift Dzire variants as a mere reference. But remember that Honda will price its products at a premium with the added promise of better quality interiors and high fuel efficiency. Honda may do well to consider a diesel automatic to trump its position given the overall late entry into the market. I expect the Amaze to be one of the most significant launches in 2013.
You must have heard the word mean machine being used and misused quite liberally in the auto industry. But really, Harley's new Fat Bob takes being mean to a whole new level. At no angle is it trying to smile at you or trying to make a fashion statement. All it's telling you is to shut up and ride it. You talk about attitude. Yes, it is the big, bold street brawler from Harley's Dyna family, ready to bring the fight to the Indian market. But don't get its name mixed up with Harley's Fat Boy or the Street Bob, already available in India, although the Fat Bob looks to combine the best of both. So why is it called the Fat Bob? Fat comes from the wide stance of its forks and massive tires, and the Bob from the bobbed fenders. So let's take a peek inside that belly. The Fat Bob rides a powerful 1585cc twin-cam engine, producing an equally strong 126 Nm in torque. Harley doesn't share the power figures of its bikes, but it's safe to say there is more than enough to get the 325 kilo Fat Bob up and away. Also, the electronic sequential port fuel injection gives Fat Bob the much needed refinement amidst all that aggression. Now the riding stance on the Fat Bob is also equally aggressive, with both your arms stretched out onto these drag-style handlebars. But what really is uncomfortable are these forward-mounted foot controls, which not only takes some time to get used to them, but also takes a toll on your legs, especially on those long journeys. But the rider's seat itself is well padded and helps you transfer your weight, especially because it's a low seating on those sharp curves. But it's really the open highway that is Fat Bob's best friend and really makes it feel at home. But Fat Bob does not hide his weight, especially while taking those narrow bends or trying to park it, because that's when you really have to put all your muscle into it. Also on low gears in start-stop city traffic, the heat from the engine does get uncomfortable for the rider, but cools off in higher gears on the highway. But what really is comfortable is the way the Fat Bob handles both on the highway and even the hilly terrain. The 6-speed cruise drive transmission is smooth and precise, and that made my life a little easier. The Fat Bob was surprisingly quick off the blocks despite its weight, and finally settled down nicely between 100 and 120 kilometers per hour on the highway. The suspension, especially the twin rear shock absorbers, smoothened the ride for the most part, including the big potholes and the tall speed breakers. The brakes with ABS are decent but could be better and more precise to give you more confidence, especially at high speeds. They say if looks could kill, and the Fat Bob almost does that with the kind of aggressive attitude in its styling, and really scares me to use words like beautiful, nice and pretty on this incredible hulk. And it's from the front really that the true character of the bike really comes through, starting off with the beefy 130mm tires on the 16-inch wheel. And if that doesn't blow your mind away, just look up. You'll see these dual chrome headlamps, twin pods sitting next to each other, making it doubly aggressive, as well as makes every other bike on the road almost bow down in respect. And as you move up these headlamps, you see these drag-style handlebars add so much more appeal to the bike and makes the bike look like one of those bouncers standing in front of the bar with folded arms. As you look down those handlebars, you see the beautiful handcrafted fuel tank blending well into the bold character of the bike. And as you look down, you see these fantastic Tommy gun exhaust 212 exhaust, adding that beautiful, elongated, beautiful, bold element to the bike itself. Really, Fat Bob is not someone you want to mess around with. The Fat Bob has some neat instrumentation with the speedometer and a small digital display for the odometer and dual trip meters, all well located on the gas tank top. Besides the candy orange that we rode, Fat Bob will be available in 2 shades of black, matte black and black denim. So does Fat Bob command a fat price too? Priced at 12.8 lakh rupees ex-showroom Delhi, the Fat Bob will be the priciest bike from the Dyna family and the 14th model in Harley's India lineup. And like some of Harley's other models, it will be assembled in India. So it could well be a fat chance that Fat Bob throws his weight around on Indian roads.
The sound which brings a smile to any motorsport enthusiast's face. The car, an Aston Martin Vantage GTE. The driver, Stefan Muck, who came third at the Le Mans race this year in the GTE Pro class. The Gulf Speed Bolt brought Stefan to the Budh International Circuit, much to the delight of motorsport fans. The Aston Martin Vantage GTE is the most powerful car in its class and also recorded the fastest lap in its category at Le Mans this year. At the heart of the GTE is a 4.5-litre V8 engine with significant modifications to the engine, gearbox and chassis. The car accelerates quick, brakes just as effectively, and the downforce generated is simply phenomenal. Stefan took us for a few flying laps around the track after the Vantage GTE was let loose on the racing track.
My first lap was really a great experience, and after that I was really enjoying the track. It's a very nice track, a lot of different corners, not easy corners, quite a difficult track, quite a challenging track for a driver, but that's what we want to have. So it's just great to drive, and I had a big smile on my face when I was out there. I really enjoyed it, and it's a great facility, absolutely. The track layout is very nice, it's wide, it's just great, and the runoffs are good, the pit building, everything. So it's on a very high level, so for sure it will have some future, and I really hope that we are coming here quite soon with the World Endurance Championship to race here, to have your 6-hour race or whatever. So that's the future, and I really would love to drive here. It's great, and everybody will enjoy it if we are going here.
Both Gulf and Aston Martin are planning more track days in India. The Aston Martin brand in particular is looking at big expansion here, so that's not a huge surprise. As for the racing team, it's already looking forward to the 2013 motorsports calendar, and yes, the big one at Le Mans for the annual 24 hours.
So this was just a first impression. We haven't really had a chance to spend too much time with the new Amaze. The car gets launched in our market only in April 2003, so still a little bit of time. The Thai market gets it a little bit before us, and that's of course when you know things like pricing. Remember, the target will be the Swift Desire, yet you do know that Honda likes to stay a little bit premium when compared to what Maruti does. So we'll wait and see how competitive Honda will be with the prices, but the big trump card is going to be the fact that Honda finally gets that diesel. So I think that's what a lot of people are waiting for. The engine does seem fairly impressive in terms of being responsive and zippy. It also feels light. The car has a pretty decent sense of handling about it. Need to spend a lot more time before we can actually give you our final verdict. But having said that, definitely a promising addition to the market. Pricing though will be the key. So with that, we're going to wrap up today's show. Tell us what you thought of the new Amaze, from its name to our first impression, all of that. Please react to it. You know how to get in touch with us. And we'll see you next week. We'll leave you now with our voting for the viewer's choice. Remember, there's lots that we want you to do in terms of sending in those votes. So please keep them coming. And please wear your seatbelts. Please wear your helmets. Bye-bye.
The CNB Viewers' Choice Award has become the country's most significant honor that is based on a popular vote. So it's your opinion that counts, and every year the category is growing. It is also the only award where you get the chance to drive home the winner in both the car and two-wheeler categories. This year we have the most nominees ever in both segments. Each nominee's voting code is also on your screens, the two-wheelers first. The Bajaj Discover family enlarged this year to include the new 125 ST. The sports tourer is comfortable, reasonably well priced, and has already taken the market by storm. The Hero Maestro has proved once again the might of the market leader. The scooter is a hit for Hero, and it offers good ride and overall comfort. Erstwhile partner Honda has had a busy year with plenty of new launches, but this was the most significant. Honda's big entry into the entry biking space and the Splendor rival, the 110cc Dream Yuga. It's a new Royal Enfield bike. That doesn't happen very often, but when it does, the market usually cannot get enough. There's already a huge waiting period for the two variants of the all-new Thunderbird. The two nominees from Suzuki are part of the company's plans to push on in the two-wheel space. The Hayate is a capable and well-built product, gaining acceptance in urban markets. And so is its sibling, the Swish, which is a stylish new scooter from Suzuki. The Swish uses a similar engine as the Access, but adds oodles of appeal. How can you not smile when you see this? A throwback to the golden age of scootering. The LX125 from Vespa is every bit as modern as it is retro. Vespa certainly has a huge fan following. And the last nominee is also a scooter. It's Deepika Padukone's ride, the Ray from Yamaha. The scooter marks the long-awaited entry of Yamaha into this space. It's efficient, easy to ride and very maneuverable. Switching to the car space next, it's the Aveo replacement from Chevy, the Sail Yuva. The car is compact on the outside, yet roomy inside. Its sharp looks, punchy diesel option and spacious cabin are catching on. Stylish, sexy and packed with features, the Hyundai Elantra is already its segment bestseller. It's also got tons of variants in diesel, petrol, manual and auto. Maruti Suzuki blazed into the market in what has been a tough year with some big hit products. The Alto 800 marked the replacement for the country's largest selling model, completely restyled and more contemporary than before. Maruti also impressed with a massive demand for the Ertiga. Spacious yet compact, the Ertiga offers 3-row seating and is also a hit for Maruti in export markets. The company also launched a new generation of its best-selling sedan, the Swift Desire. The car draws on the advantages of the Swift and yet stays sub 4 meter. If the Ertiga took on the Innova, so did this car. Nissan's follow-up to its hit, the Sunny, the Evalia is efficient, maneuverable and very spacious. The quality levels on the car impress. One of the other big hits of the year has been the Duster from Renault. The compact SUV is available in diesel and petrol, but there are still no four-wheel drive or automatic variants. Renault also introduced the Pulse, based on the Micra. A bolder face gives the car more masculine presence. And it is a similar appeal that carries through to the Scala. The sedan certainly looks way more attractive than its sunny alter ego, though it does carry similar interiors. And rounding things off is the hotly anticipated Tata Safari Storm. The second-gen SUV finally gives the Safari buyer a much stronger ride quality and very superior handling. To vote for your choice, log on to ndtv.com or just type CNB space and the voting code or number corresponding to your choice. Add your name and city and send it to 56388 from your cell phone. You can also tweet Sid Patankar, the name of the car or bike you want to vote for, but do remember to hashtag CNB Awards for the vote to register. One of you who votes for the winning car and one of you who votes for the winning two-wheeler will be selected as lucky winners who get the chance to drive them home. So vote now.
India's #1 news app just got even better. Download NDTV's new app. Fully optimized for Retina display. Full screen view. Faster response time. And Sudoku. NDTV's new iPad app. Download now.